Can you rewrite the past? Hi, I'm Felipe Drago and welcome to Drago Drums. Maybe we cannot rewrite the past, but we can re-record it. But before I tell the story, subscribe to the channel, press the bell. That's gonna help you keep up to date with all the videos. And those who are drummers and drum teachers, how about buying my book, Play the Drums? It's a book for beginners. Takes a person who never played drums before and makes that person a drummer at the end of the book. I'm gonna be honest, I don't teach everything about drumming because that's impossible. I take a person who has never played drums before, and by the end of the book, this person is able to play drums and have fun with their friends, play along to their favorite songs. In this book, I apply accelerated learning techniques, and that makes learning the drums easier and faster because I treat drums as a language. So you'll learn to play drums like you learn to speak your own language. Now to the story. So many years ago, yes, a long time ago, in the early 90s, I joined a band that had a very interesting name. The band was called Alcoholic. Not that we were alcoholics, but the name came because the guitarist and the singer, before the band existed, one night they met and they weren't very happy with their lives and they started drinking some wine and complain about life, as you do. And after drinking a little bit of wine, they decided, let's write some songs, which basically that's what you do as well. Then they had a cassette recorder. Yes, I said it was a long time ago. So they had a cassette recorder and they decided to record those songs and those ideas they were having. Next day, they listened back and they thought, these songs are pretty good. And they decided to start a real band. And because they had been drinking when they wrote the songs, they decided, let's call the band Alcoholic. I joined the band a couple months down the line. We rehearsed, we recorded a demo tape very primitively. It was, for us, it was like, this is technology, but it was very primitive now thinking. What the guy did, he had a rehearsal studio and he could record in real tape. So what he did was, he recorded the whole band playing the basic tracks on real tape, like rhythm guitar, bass, and drums. And then he would play the real tape and record the vocals, the backing vocals, and the solo guitar, if there was a lead guitar, into a cassette. And we thought that's, wow, this is amazing. We actually have a proper recorded song. With that demo, we went to a radio station in my hometown. The station was called Ipanema FM. And they had a weekly program called the Demo Hour, which in Portuguese is a pun with demon. So the hour of the demon, let's say. And in that program, they would play local bands. That radio station was the only radio station in my hometown that gave local bands airplay. So on that weekly program, they would play the new bands and the listeners would ring, telephone, they would ring the radio and tell which band they liked most. The band with most number of votes would get a 3-hour recording in a professional recording studio. And the week we applied our demo, we got those 3 hours. And we were young, we didn't have money, so we tried to gather money as much as we could, and we bought another hour at that studio. So we ended up with 4 hours in a professional studio, were recorded and mixed in 4 hours. And we had like, wow, we had this amazing experience of being in a professional studio, being professional recorded and having, it was a giant leap from that very first recording we had with the reel to cassette to an actual 16-track recording studio. And we sent back that song recorded professionally to the radio station, and it got immediately into the station grid, and it played many times during the day. And at one point, we had like 3 songs playing daily on the radio, and people calling and asking for the song. That was great for us. We used to play a lot live. We got a lot of live gigs from those recordings. People would call the radio and ask, who's this band? How do we get in touch? They had our phone number there, and then they would get in touch with us, and we would do the gigs. We toured the south of Brazil. It was an amazing experience. Unfortunately, we were young. Many things happened in our personal lives that were difficult to deal with the band, and the band, I would never say split up, I would say imploded, and that was it. We never had actually ended the band. So fast forward 30 years, one day I had this idea. The band never actually did the last gig. It was a great band, we had a great time, but we never kind of did the last gig. So I thought, next time I go to Brazil, Alcoholic will have their last gig. So I emailed each of the members individually. We're still in touch thanks to social media. To be honest, I didn't have much hope. I thought I would send an email. One would say, yeah, let's do it. The other two say, man, I'm an old man now. Don't want to do that anymore. I did it. That's fine. But the funny and amazing and very pleasant thing that happened was that all three of them immediately said, yes, let's do it. So we arranged to be playing this year in my hometown, probably November, the last gig, Alcoholics' last gig, 30 years later. But one thing that evolved from the conversations we had was we never actually had any recording that did justice to the sound of the band. Not the energy, but the sound. We didn't know how to record. The studio we used was professional, but unfortunately, at that time in the south of Brazil, people didn't really know how to record rock and roll. Now they do. So we decided we need to re-record those songs and do them justice. But now we live in 4 different cities, in 2 different countries, with a literal ocean in the middle. I'm 10,000 kilometers away from my hometown, living in London now. So thanks to technology, we decided that everybody's going to record their part individually and send it to the guitarist, and he's going to put it all together. So in the sequence, there'll be 2 songs that I recorded here in this studio. And the guitarist sent me a guitar guide so I could play the drums on it. And then I sent the drum tracks to him, and he's going to put it all together. And then the bass player is going to record the bass and the vocal and everything. And hopefully in a very short time, we'll have the whole thing done, and I'm going to show that to you. But the main thing I want is to show you that technology can be a great thing. That even though we are thousands of miles, thousands of kilometers apart, me especially, they're still living in Brazil, 4 different cities, but not as far as I am. We can still create music. We can still record. Not together, but you can still record. The first song in this video is going to be Caroline, which was the first song we recorded professionally. The song we got the most votes back in 1991 on the radio program. And this song, Caroline, was one of the songs that were written in that session, let's say drinking session. The other song is called High and I, and that song was written later when we were already a band. Basically, the guitarist came up with the riff, and we started working things together, and the singer worked the melody, and then we put the whole song together. So you can see how the band evolved from being 2 guys writing to 4 guys writing. And also, I think they sound really good for a bunch of 20-year-olds. But you be the judge. hope you like, and see you next time. Bye.